Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody, and this is the very first viewer mail show.
Come on, baby.
Okay, the first mail is from Zachary. And by the way, if you guys would like to participate in the viewer mail show, then do send me an email to the address below, woodypianoshack@gmail.com. It can be a question or perhaps some feedback, some critique of the channel or a review that I've done, or maybe just a story that you want to share with me and my viewers. Okay, back to Zachary's message here. He says, I have an ES2, which is an Electribe sampler too, I guess, very similar to my Electribe. And I'm not the best at using its power. I would love to see you spend some time explaining techniques you use with yours. I have heard your recent Electribe uploads. Some of these synth parts sound lush. Maybe show us how to build pads on it. Thanks for the videos. Okay, Zachary, thanks for the question. Yeah, I don't have the sampler model, but I have the normal Electribe 2 model, which is the synth model. I find, you mentioned lush pads here. It's not the greatest machine for doing pads. Actually, it's quite useless. For one thing, when you do a repeating 4-bar pattern, it will glitch. The sound does cut out for me if you're holding down a chord when you sort of loop through the patterns. And the other thing is the envelopes are really crappy on the Electribe. If you play one more note whilst holding down a note, both notes re-trigger. I'm going to show you this in a separate video sometime, but to cut a long story short, I find the Electribe to be quite bad for long, lush pads and sustaining drones and stuff. But I have seen guys on YouTube doing that, and there are some techniques. Just recently, I had some comments on my Electribe tutorials where a couple of guys shared their techniques for doing this. But you have to use the step programming mode and you have to go in and edit ties and rests and stuff. And I never use that mode. But here's a little trick that I do on some of my videos. You may have seen my Dubai videos where we have an Electribe doing the soundtrack in the background. And there were some quite lush, long, evolving pad sounds there as well. But what I do is just put a bunch of reverb on it, either on the Electribe on that particular track, just drown it out in reverb, or I'll do it in post-production. And that tends to smooth over the glitches a little bit. Otherwise, I will be doing some more Electribe tutorials on the channel soon, so maybe we can cover some of the songs I did in a bit more detail. Right then, moving on then. The next one is from Mendel, and he writes to me with this message. Hi Woody, my name is Mendel and I'm 13 years old. I play piano, but not like a pianist. I like to play on keyboard arrangers. I started playing since I was 4 years old, and I have never had a music lesson. I played at my friend's party, which the musician let me play on his arranger, and people asked if I had a business card so that I can play at their party. I guess that's how good I am. So it sounds like Mendel here is off to a really good start. He's only 13 years old. I don't either read notes, but if you were to see me play, you would think that I'm joking that I don't know how to read notes. So for my 14th birthday, my dad said I can get a professional arranger. So I already did my research and it turned out to be that the Yamaha S970 is the keyboard I want/need. Also, thanks to you, I have a lot more knowledge about the 970 because of your videos. And you said that you got your 970 for a very good deal. So can you help me find a deal or something the way you got yours for $1,600 to $1,650 so I can get it for my birthday? Best regards, Mendel. Okay, Mendel, thank you very much for your message and congratulations on being so accomplished at such a young age. This is really awesome. I started playing myself when I was 4. Although I did read music in the beginning, but by the time I got to 13, I was more into just playing by ear, improvising and playing pop stuff, which sounds like is what you're doing as well. And if you're managing to entertain people at that young age, then you're off to a really good start, so well done. Anyway, on to your question. Yep, I have a PSR S970, which is the latest and the best, the highest range PSR keyboard that Yamaha do right now. Now, I bought mine secondhand. Yes, I did get a good deal. The one I had was sold by a music shop, but they'd used it on a trade show. So it had been used for like 2 days or something, just as a demo unit, and then the shop decided to sell it on, and I got it for like about a 25% discount. But it's kind of an expensive keyboard. I think new price is about $2,000, and I got it for about $1,500 or something. But I've got to tell you, it wasn't specifically the 970 I was after. I had been searching for an arranger workstation, and I wanted the Yamaha. For me, they're the best ones. But it didn't have to be the 970 for me. I was looking for a 910, a 900, or a 950. Those are the previous models of the 970. And there's also like a smaller brother, which is the 700, 770, 750, 790. There's about 4 models that are slightly cut down version of the 970. And all of those are really good. So here's my advice to you. If you want to get yourself a good deal, you need to expand the scope of your search. You're probably not going to find a 970 at a good price unless you're really, really lucky. I got lucky. I've never seen another one for sale since. You need to be looking at the S900, the 910, 950, 970, which are older models and more easy to find secondhand. And they're still really, really great keyboards. I used to have an S910 and it was fabulous. That keyboard is maybe, I don't know, 5 years old right now. But there's not a huge difference between the 900 series models. Actually, they're all slightly better, but you'd be very, very happy with any of them, I'm sure. And maybe even consider a Tyros if one comes up for sale. A Tyros 1 or Tyros 2 is also a really good board. And you get them for any of those for a lot less than $1,600. Okay, by the way, Mendel, if you ever get yourself a keyboard, let us know what you get. And please, I'd love to see you performing. If you can do some kind of performance on YouTube, if you have any camera equipment, you can record the sound and upload it. I'd love to see it and I'll share it with the viewers. Okay, 2 more questions to go. This one is from Fritz. He contacted me on Facebook and he writes, "Hey Woody, can I ask you a question? What kind of software do you use to synchronize your sound with the video? I record sound with a mic on my phone, which is bad. Very bad. In my early days, we didn't have phones. Love to hear from you. Best regards, Fritz." Okay, Fritz, thank you for the question. Now, I have quite a complicated setup. There's 2 cameras here, one over there and one over there. I have a lavalier microphone here, which is connected via a wire to the camera there. So that camera is picking up the sound from my microphone, and I need to synchronize these to each other, and I do that by clapping my hands like that. And then when I put it in the editing software, my video editing software, I use Adobe Premiere Elements, and I can line up the tracks to get the clapping and the audio lined up with the 2 microphones. That's not so painful. But the tricky thing is when I start using the synthesizers as well, because that's an extra channel of audio that I need to record. So that one, the synthesizers go into a Zoom portable digital recorder, and I need to synchronize the sound of me playing with what the cameras are picking up and my microphone, which is kind of tough. What I tend to do is I'll play some notes on the synthesizer whilst I make a noise with because I can't clap. So I'll go like that into the camera. My girlfriend hates it. She thinks I'm some sort of idiotic gorilla. That drives her nuts when I make that noise. But that's the only way I can get the synthesizers, the sound of those, the wave file, synchronized with the camera stuff. But it is quite challenging to record, the audio when I'm speaking my commentary together with the synthesizers and the stuff from the camera. But once you've got that, you can line it up in the video editing software. I hope that helped. Sometimes I'll even use Reaper actually to edit the audio, because when I'm demonstrating a synthesizer, this microphone picks up quite a lot of the sound of the keys, and I don't really like to have that in the audio demos of the synths. So I have to put it into Reaper, and I'll mix the sound of my microphone and the synths and sort of drop the level of the microphone when I'm performing on the synths. But it's quite laborious. You guys have no idea how much work I put into editing these videos. Unless you're doing the YouTube stuff yourself, of course. Okay, the last question for today. Thank you very much to everybody for sending the questions. And just a reminder, you can participate in the show by sending your viewer mails to woodypianoshack@gmail.com. Okay, finally, this is from Gordon. Hi, and many thanks for your demos on YouTube. I love them, and especially the very friendly style of them. I don't want to take up your time, but I am thinking of buying a Yamaha Motif XF6, which is being sold by a friend of a friend. I am not a keyboard player. I have played bass guitar for many years, but as I no longer play in a group, etc., I like dabbling with keyboards. Until now, I have an old Yamaha PSR 3000, PSR stuff again, which I bought some years ago to have a bit of fun. Watching your videos and the performance mode on the XF started me thinking that perhaps I should get one. The guy in question is selling his, which is in very good condition, for £1,000. My question is, should I be buying this or looking for something else? Korg, Kronos, Roland, etc. Last question, if I buy it, do you have any tutorials I can buy? Oh, so as to get into using it quickly, etc. Many thanks in advance, Gordon. So, Gordon, be aware that this Motif XF6 is Yamaha's, well, previous top-of-the-range keyboard. It is a fabulous instrument with really, really deep possibilities. You can do pretty much everything with it. Sequencing, sampling, produce tracks, play your bass guitar into it, whatever you want. It's really, really high-end. But that price is good, $1,000. There's a cheaper version of the Motif keyboard called the Mox F, which is plasticky, it's a bit stripped down. It has the same sounds, but it's not the same quality. It's not a pro keyboard. And those things cost about £1,000. So if you can get a fairly new Motif XF6 in good condition for £1,000 or £1,000, I say go for it. There's nothing to lose. You can try it out, and if you don't like it, you can always sell it on to somebody else, but I think you will enjoy it. On the other hand, you mentioned you have a Yamaha PSR 3000, and I think they're great keyboards as well, but it all depends what you want to do with it, of course. If you want to learn how to play the keyboards, then the PSR will be okay, but maybe you're more interested in doing some studio stuff and using it as a center for the studio and recording guitar tracks into it and stuff, and you can't really go wrong with the Yamaha Motif XF6. I did some reviews on the XF7, which I had for a little while, so you can go and watch those if you're curious about what it can do. So that's all for today. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Ta-da!
Woody piano shine.